Hey guys, Tex here, and welcome back to our Earth to Mars series here in Orbiter 2016. So in the previous part, of course, we attempted to orbit Phobos, and we came back and land at the research station here. So what we're going to do today is we're going to launch off of this rock and head over to another rock called Deimos. And I don't know if we're going to land on it. We'll see. Maybe we'll orbit Deimos. We'll see how we do on time when we get there. Alright, so without messing around too much here, let's go ahead and I'll reset our mission elapsed timer.
Elapsed time reset.
Alright, let's go ahead and get everything ready to go. So we'll turn on strobe, beacon, nav. Nose cone is open. We will close that in a moment. Okay, so fuel-wise, we should have plenty of fuel to get there. We can turn off external cooling. Our radiator is still open. Let me hop into this cockpit view, and we're going to use TransX to plot a flight path over to Deimos. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the little intro at the beginning of the video. So that was just a recap, a cinematic recap of everything that we've done so far, having departed Edwards Air Force Base, landed on Mars, and now here we are up at Phobos. So anyway, I thought that was kind of a cool little thing to put together. Okay, so let's go ahead and select Deimos, and over here let's hit forward and view. And we're going to set up a maneuver because we're basically in space here. So let's see, we'll go to... Now Deimos orbits at a higher altitude than Phobos. In the center here is Mars, and here's Phobos orbit around Mars. Here we are, and here's Deimos much higher up. So we're going to have to add some prograde velocity, and let's go to the date. Let's adjust that forward in time. So it looks like our closest approach is coming down, and we're about that's 1 million meters out. Now we're getting into a nice lower number. You can see our apoapsis doesn't quite go high enough, so let's put just a bit more prograde velocity in. It's pretty sensitive right now. And let's go back to the date. Okay, so that looked like somewhere in here was going to be our closest pass. Let's go back to prograde and see if we can get that a little closer with just that variable. And that is definitely coming down. It is rare that these plans work out on the first try like this for me. I guess it just... the timing is perfect for this launch here in a little while. Let's go. Okay, so the date is getting too sensitive. There we go. Now we're within 4 kilometers. That is close enough for right now, because if we go to view, you can see we're actually about just over 3,000 seconds until we burn to leave Phobos behind us. So what I'm going to do is time accelerate, and I'm going to get that number down to around, I don't know, 600 seconds, or maybe even less than that, probably like 300 seconds. And then we will do an update, because things will have changed. The predictions will have changed. We'll adjust our plan as needed to get that close pass again. And then we're going to basically just lift off, point in the direction we need to point, and burn our engines. Thinking about this a little more, maybe I ought to take off from Phobos a little earlier than 300 seconds, because if we need to... I'm not sure which direction we need to point. And if the direction we need to point to burn to get to Deimos happens to be right in the center of Phobos, then that could definitely be a problem. So I think what we need to do is go ahead and get off of Phobos and just, you know, get off the ground. Let's go down to about 400 seconds. That should be plenty of time. Alright, so we'll go to normal time speed, and let's go over here and do the update. Okay, so now you can see the predictions have changed. We're within 38 kilometers, but we'll go ahead and see if we can't get that a little closer. Let's see. So bring our prograde down. Looks like a little bit of plane change would do it. No, maybe actually outward. Let me try outward. Let's reset the plane. Let's go to outward. Yep, okay. Alright, so let's see, that's within 3 kilometers there, and I bet we can get the rest of it with some prograde, just a tiny bit. And there we go. That's really close enough. Alright, so let's go to our view mode, and I'll tell you what, over here we're going to do surface. Let's go into our other cockpit view. Alright, so external cooling's off, fuel's good. Locks, we probably have enough. I mean, I know we have enough to get over there, but I guess with the next part we're actually going to start on the surface of Mars, so we're good. I don't need to add locks. Alright, so let's turn on the APU. Let's go to our linear RCS. Everything up here looks good. Actually, let's go ahead and close the nose cone. As that is transitioning, I'm going to just translate up.
Warning. Nose cone is
Hit
closed.
L real quick just to level
Warning.
the wings.
Nose cone is closed.
Gear up.
We'll raise
Warning.
our gear.
Nose cone is closed. Warning. Nose cone is closed.
Alright,
Gear
so
up and locked.
I'm going to translate up and away a little bit here. Okay, yeah, we can turn the APU off actually. Alright, so it looks like if I jump over here to this cockpit, I guess we don't need the surface right now. Looks like the X is up here, so that's good news. At least we're going to be pointing away from Phobos. So what I'm going to do is hit rotation RCS, and we're just going to rotate toward that X. Oh, might help if I turn on my HUD. Let's go to the orbit HUD. So we're going to rotate up and to the right a little bit. We're still 250 seconds from the burn, so it looks like, you know, I probably could have sat there a little longer, but I wasn't sure which direction we'd be burning, and I was afraid with my luck I would actually have to burn right in the middle of Phobos, and that would be bad. So obviously no big deal. We're just going to coast up away from Phobos until we hit the burn time. Alright, that's good enough. Now I didn't put very much upward velocity in, so what I'm going to do is just do a small burst of the main engines, and this will affect our predictions a slight amount. So I will just hit update in a minute. That should be more than enough velocity to keep us from crashing onto the surface of Phobos until the burn approaches. Great view of Mars there in the background. Alright, so let me do a quick update. I don't think it changed it much, but we did put thrust in, so that's going to affect the predictions just a bit. Actually, quite a bit. 126 kilometers off now. So, let's go to TransX here, and so let's just adjust that a little bit. Let me try outward, I guess. Let's see what that gets us. There we go. That's coming down. Actually, since I put some prograde in, I think it was, yeah, I put a little prograde in. I bet we just need to back that off a little bit. Yep. Because I already put some prograde in, so we'll just take some away. Let's go to outward. And that's coming back down. Hop over to prograde again. Let's see. Oh, too sensitive. Alright, 31 kilometers. Outward. And there we go, we're within 2 kilometers. Good enough. Alright, so just over 100 seconds to the burn. Let's time accelerate and let that clock count down. In a moment, we'll go ahead, well actually probably a good time to go ahead and do that now. Let's go ahead and turn on auto center. Let's see, there it is. So almost 30 seconds from the burn. We're at normal time. Auto center is enabled. We're looking at 418 meters per second in delta velocity. Let's go to burn time, DV. We're going to do 418.1. There we go. All right, so 15 seconds till the burn. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and burning. We'll let that burn time MFD take care of the burn for us. Turn off auto center here in just a moment. And Phobos is behind us. It's dark, so we can't see it, unfortunately. Alright, so burn time is taking care of that. Let's go to linear RCS. And let's clean the burn up a little bit here. Did I disable? Okay, disable the auto center. And let's translate forward. Bring that delta V down to 0. Alright, there we go. So we can turn off the maneuver now. And maneuver is off. So our closest approach right now is holding at 2K. Let's go to TransX over here and we can monitor that. Alright.
Rotation.
Turn off our RCS just in case we don't actually accidentally bump that. We can take a look behind us as we leave Phobos behind. We'll time accelerate here. Probably not going to be too great of a view because we have the sun back behind Phobos, but we have an awesome view of Mars. If I can find Mars. There it is. That's pretty cool. So we're actually going to be going to a much higher altitude above Mars. So let's time accelerate a little bit more. We'll go to 100x. There's Mars. There's Phobos. Very cool. Let's see where we are. Okay, so slow time back down. All right. Take a look in this view. Yeah, so we can see that here we are right here, and here is Deimos' current position, and so of course we're going to encounter Deimos all the way over here. So yeah, you can see, you know, how much higher that altitude is. It's quite a bit. So let's time accelerate. Actually, let me kill rotation first. Okay, and I tell you what, let me point the vessel prograde, because Deimos will actually come into view. I believe that's Deimos right there. Yes, it is. There it is. Alright, so we are pointed prograde. I'm going to kill rotation, and let's time accelerate. And we can watch Deimos here. It's going to get closer and closer as we sort of intercept it. We're moving like this, and Deimos is moving like that. We're going to intercept somewhere over here, I think. So time accelerate a bit more. So our closest approach is still nice and low. We'll probably do one little course correction here. 6 kilometers is going to be super close. But if we wanted to land, obviously we would want to be a little closer than that.
Translation.
So let's turn on linear RCS and let's just experiment. We'll try translating forward. That didn't help. Translate back. That's lowering it. Let's try up, down. Nope. right, left. Okay, so we want to keep going back. So I'm just translating back. And we're essentially hitting Deimos right there. Alright. Where did Deimos go? There it is, off to our right side. Okay, let's time accelerate. And here comes Deimos. And slow time down. That was a bit fast. Alright, okay, we're at normal time. Let's go ahead and just rotate around. Alright, so we don't really need transx at this point. I think, well, let me see, is there a way that I can select Deimos with the, what is that MFD, the VOR, VTOL? I don't think I can. I forgot how to do this, how I can calculate the distance to Deimos and our closure velocity. Maybe it's, is it surface MFD? I bet that's what I bet that's what it is. So ground speed there, put that on the HUD. I bet that's what it is. Okay, so our velocity vector is our velocity vector is hit dead on at Deimos. So if I do nothing right now, we're definitely going to hit Deimos. So our encounter velocity is 398 meters per second, and I believe that's the velocity that I have to scrub right here, our ground speed. So we can use burn time. Let's just put in 400 just to be safe, and then let's I need to open my retro doors. So let's go to this cockpit view. Okay, retro doors are opening. So we need to calculate how long it's going to take to slow down with our retro engines. There we go. So if we need to scrub 400 meters per second, we're looking at about 6.7. Oh, here we go. Sorry, distance 16.5 kilometers out from Deimos. And I believe we should be able to use this altitude tape here on the surface MFD. I know there's got to be a better way to do this. It's been a while. I forgot. So there's no base on Deimos, so we can't use the VOR, VTOL to give us the distance that I'm aware of. I can't tune this to the surface of Deimos. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. But I believe this will work. So I guess we'll find out. All right. Let's also go to orbit and let's reference Deimos. Okay, and then let's put that HUD up there. Okay, and I believe that should work. So surface. All right. I forgot I made these MFDs really big for the for one of the shots in that intro sequence you saw. So I apologize about that if they're too big now, but I will try to remember to reduce the size of those before the next part. All right. So we are 90 kilometers from hitting the surface of Deimos. Again, we need about 16.5 kilometers to scrub this this speed. So I think what I'm going to do, just in case, because I'm not sure about the actual true surface of Deimos at this exact point, I think what we should do is probably actually about 18 kilometers, maybe 20, maybe even 20 kilometers would probably be safer. So when we reach 20 kilometers in altitude, I'm going to go ahead and fire my retro engines. Actually, I'll just hit the burn button on the and let's just point the vessel prograde. No, I don't want to. Why are you doing that? I bet it's pointing prograde in relation to Mars, but it should. Okay, that's not working. Alright, so let's just manually point the vessel prograde. I thought that it would hold the vessel prograde based on which HUD I selected. I selected Deimos as the reference for the HUD, but anyway, we'll just manually point it at the velocity vector there, which means I'll have to manually keep it pointing that velocity vector during the burn. Alright, so 20 kilometers is approaching. Let's time accelerate very carefully. Alright, get ready for the burn. And we're burning. So this is real time. There's Mars. And you can see our retro engines are burning. Phobos is getting awfully big there, so hopefully our calculations are correct. Otherwise we're in trouble. Come on, slow down. Slow down. So I can power that off, move it out of the way. Let me hop into this cockpit view. Whoops. There we go. Okay, I think we're going to be okay. And I say we just go ahead and try and land on Deimos. I think that it's going to be actually kind of hard though, without a base or something, but we can do it.
5,000.
All right, so we are 5,000 meters. Yeah, 5,000 meters off the surface. Oh, let me point that velocity vector. And we're slowing down plenty here. Let's kill the engines.
4,000.
Here we're 4,000. Well, let's go ahead and just put our gear down now while I'm thinking about it.
Gear down. Gear down and locked.
Okay, gears down. We can turn the APU off. And take a look outside. Let's continue coasting down a bit more.
3,000. 2,000.
So when we get really close like this, the textures are gonna not be great, but oh well. So fuel wise, we're doing fine. How much LOX did it take? Oh, nothing.
You are cleared
I
to
didn't
land.
think it would really, but alright, so we're getting really low. Let's go ahead and scrub a little bit more of this velocity. Okay, let's go ahead and hit L to level the wings. That thing really levels them quick, but there we go. And this is really one uneven rock. So I guess, where is Mars at? There it is. So at least we're going to have a nice view of Mars in the sky there. I'll pan down, take a look as we come down. Alright, so let's keep an eye on our altitude here as we come down.
1,000. Translation 900. 800. 700. 600.
So just slow down our vertical speed a little bit. Okay. Time accelerate.
500. 400.
There's 400.
300.
300. Okay.
200.
Okay, we're 100 meters off the surface. Let's bring our vertical speed under 1 there.
100. 75.
'Okay, we are almost on the surface now. I wonder though, because of the terrain feature on orbiter, if it's going to look like we go under the surface, and it might. Okay, surface HUD is on. Wings are level. We're coming down nice and slow. See if we can bring it in here for soft landing. So altitude says we are literally right above the surface. We're still descending just a little bit. And we're listening for wheels down. Let me use a little bit of time acceleration. Okay, it says 0. We should be hitting the ground any second now. Even though it doesn't look like it, that's a product of the terrain.
50.
50. Okay, so obviously that has something to do with the actual altitude readout. So she said 50, but we're apparently under the surface
40.
according to surface MFD.
Thirty.
30. So I guess when this is negative 0.05, that's going to be the ground. I'm not sure if there's a way to calibrate that.
20.
20. So 0.06 should be the ground.
15.
Maybe. There's 15.
10.
10.
9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3.
All right. Almost on the ground.
Two.
We still have some ground speed. I think that might be... Actually, I'm not sure where that ground speed is, forward or... I have no reference.
1.
Alright. 1. Oh yeah, there you go. Now you can see we're...
Wheels down.
Wheels down. Alright.
Wheels up.
Okay. So we have made contact with the ground. We're going to have the same issue though, getting the XR to sit on the ground here. I'm afraid if I time accelerate...
3. 2. 1. Wheels down.
Can I use the brakes? I think we're just going to bounce around here.
Information. APU fuel 80%.
Okay, yeah, that's not gonna work. Alright, so let's turn that off.
Rotation.
I think what we'll need to do is use the scenario editor. But I think if I do that, let me see. Function, scenario editor. So if I put us just on the surface of Deimos, it's going to put us somewhere else, not where we are now. Maybe I can do that with this equatorial position. We're currently 63.2 west and 3.89 north. Okay, so here we go. So negative 63.2 and 3.89. Alright.
Wheel stop.
There we go. Oh, did it not move us? It didn't. Okay, cool. Alright. So, wheel stop. We're on the ground. And let's go ahead and shut everything down. So, let's turn our lights off. We don't need to open the nose cone. AF control, all that is off. We can turn off our HUD. Power down our MFDs. Let's go ahead and actually close the retro doors.
Offline.
Okay, retro doors transitioning. We will leave the radiator open. Okay, power the APU off. External cooling is on. So really we had more than enough fuel, of course. Locks did fine. Yeah, so there you go. And just like I figured, you know, at least we're not completely under the surface, but it looks like we're doing like a wheelie on Deimos right now. So always interesting stuff here in Orbiter 2016. But there you go. We made it to Deimos safely in one piece. So the next part, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to start out on the surface of Mars. I'm not going to bother doing a whole nother re-entry and landing video on Mars. Once again, I did that like 2 videos ago. I'll put a link here in the top of the video for you to click on in case you missed that. So the next part, we're going to actually be on the surface of Mars, back at Olympus. We're going to load up the crew, and we're going to start working out our flight plan, our fuel predictions, and everything for getting back to Earth. All right, guys, listen, as always, thanks a lot for following along. If you liked the video, be sure and hit the like button. It helps more than you think. If you're not already subscribed and you like my videos, please hit that subscribe button. I do appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for following along. So I hope you guys are doing great, and wish you all the best. Until the next part, I'll see you then. Take care.